Well, hello there, YouTubers. Coming to you, it's Friday before Easter, and the rabbits have gotten now to where this one, the male, he's 12 weeks old now. The red one is female, she's 15 weeks. The dark brown one, she's also 12 weeks old. As you can see, they seem to be very healthy. They're eating probably a cup and a half each day. A regular feed plus anywhere from a pound to a pound and a half of green feed. Mostly clover. I've got a lot of clover in my yard, so they get a lot of clover, fescue grass. And let's walk around here. As you can see, I still haven't done anything yet with my barrels. The weather here has been a lot cooler for this time of year. Normally we're 20 degrees warmer than what we've been. Part of this week we were even cooler than that, so we're definitely holding off on everything that I had planned to do. But roses are doing really well. As you can see, these are our vining ones. I've got to put up their trellis still, but I'm waiting on getting the water barrels in. We've got all of the roses are doing really well. This new one we just bought, probably bought it a little bit too early in the year, but it seems to be holding its own. And what my project is for today, here's some of that clover that I've been talking about that we've got so much of. We've just got patches of this all over the yard. I've been coming out here with scissors and grass shears and just filling up a 5-gallon bucket and splitting it up into thirds. 1/3 going to the male, 2/3 going to the females. You can see I've been digging out some plugs. And what I'm doing is I'm taking out the plants that I want to keep. And what I've learned along the way, best way to not disturb the roots is to take a bigger plug that goes down a couple of inches deeper than the root ball that you actually want to get, and then separate the dirt later from the root ball. What this allows you to do, this allows you to pull out the amount of dirt that you want, and this can set for a couple of days. If it takes me 2 or 3 days to get this in, these plants are still going to be nice and healthy. Their roots have barely been disturbed. The only ones that got disturbed badly is this one rose right here, and I'll show you the hole where it come out of. It come out of this one right here, and what I ended up with was the tap root and a couple of smaller roots coming off of the long tap root. All of the dirt fell away from it. So what I done was I trimmed down the plug to where it would just barely fit over a 5-gallon bucket. I filled the 5-gallon bucket up with water and then set the whole thing down in that. That leaves enough dirt to where the main root ball is staying above the water, but the taproot can pull up as much moisture as it needs to keep from going through system shock. I've got some irises here that I still got to pull up. This one big rose right here, I'm hoping I can pull it up without damaging it. And then there's a few daylilies here and there, and then the rabbits are going to get a little feast of what's left over of this patch of clover. I've been trying to hit it about every other day, and you can see it's, even with this cool weather, it's still growing back. And then there's some daylilies right here. I'm standing in the shadow covering them up. So let me get these all pulled out, and then we'll start building our frame to go around this for our raised flower bed. And the goal is to get this all out, leveled out. I'm going to put a raised bed here, fill it up to level at the bottom of the boards. Then cardboard's going down on that. The roses will have to go in before I put the cardboard down because their root balls go deeper than these irises. Then we'll put the irises and any daylilies that I can save out of this, plus there's a handful of tulips that have managed to come back up year after year, and they're in such a tight ball it's time for them to be thinned out anyway. So I'm going to put them as perennials to come back in this flower bed. And then we're going to seed around it. And when I get to the part where I'm ready to level it off, I'll pick this video back up. Okay, so this is where I got to yesterday. I decided to go ahead, do it right, strip all this grass completely out, and I'm not going to bastard trench it because I'm going to go 2x6s high on the raised bed. I've really been taking my time and getting all the soil out of the grass roots to where I don't have to buy any more soil than what I already have. I've also got a pile of a lot of corn stalks from last season and other vegetation from the garden, but one of the reasons why I wanted to stop here and show you is there's going to be a good bit of organic material still in the soil, but as you can see, it's nothing but red clay. I mean, it clumps hard unless you got something organic in there to break it up, and then it'll crumble up pretty good. So I'm not worrying as much about the roots as I'm getting this out. I've even got some branches back there. I may stick some tree organic matter in here in the form of some branches that'll be a long-term decay. And if I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and put the cardboard down first, put down all of the branches, all of the corn husks that I'm gonna put in here, take this fill dirt that I've been saving, go over the top of that, and then put some more cardboard over that before I put the topsoil in. I think that's going to work out really well, both for retention and maybe to help keep some weeds down in it, because as you can see, we're trying to take back this flower bed from the grass. It just took it over because I didn't care for it properly. But this is day 2. I'll update as soon as I get this all dug out. Alright. Okay, so today's day 3 of this. As you can see, it's a tedious process. Still digging. It rained for 2 days, so now I'm back to getting it started. It stopped raining yesterday morning. Basically, I've let it dry out some. As you can see, it's still a little bit wet and it's clumping, but I'll break that up and get some dry dirt on top of it, and that'll all be salvageable. It'll be okay to work with. Just makes it a little bit more tedious getting all this grass out of the dirt. But as soon as I get it ready to start putting down the cardboard, I will pick this back up. Well, now we're at day 4. I made a discovery yesterday that gave me a change of plan. For the sidewalls, I'm going to end up doing these 12-inch concrete blocks like they use for pathways, stand them up on their side, and I'm going to paint them white. I'm making a block sealer. To make block sealer, you make it 1-to-1 parts exterior paint and water, and you just mix it. It should be the consistency of like maple syrup. But I went to bring the 2x6s that I had around there, and what ended up happening was as soon as I flipped one over to pick it up, there was a bunch of winged creatures called termites. So, change of plan. We're going with a termite proof material called concrete. And as you can see, my porch is white. excuse the mess, but I've still got a bunch of stuff to do. I've got to paint this porch this year anyway, so by using the same color paint as the porch to stain these blocks, they should match up pretty well. And as you can see, got it all dug out yesterday. I'm gonna get these blocks painted, and then once I get the blocks painted and in place, then I'm gonna level all of this out, get the materials down for moisture retention. I'm gonna use my old corn stalks, as I said on day one, and take it from there. I'll be back in a little while. Okay, so we got all the block in, and I've put in some organic material, mostly dead grass and corn stalks, and then the white stuff that you're seeing there, that's kitty litter. And the kitty litter will help absorb some of the moisture and retain it, and then as it heats up and it dries out, it releases it again, just like the plant material, but on a larger scale. All it is clay. This does not have any type of deodorants or chemicals in it. It's just regular old clay, cheap kitty litter that we had, that we don't use anymore. Had it for like 4 or 5 years, and this seemed like the perfect place to use it at. So next step is I'm going to go ahead, put the plants, the roses where they're going to go because they've got the deepest roots. I'll clear the plant material out of the way, and as I do that, I'll go ahead and mound up the dirt around it and place cardboard over that dirt, and then the topsoil on top of that. And then we'll go from there with the rest of the plants. Now, the techniques that I told you about with saving the plants by holding on to the root balls, today is the 9th day since these were dug up, and as you can see, they're still looking just fine. I mean, they're no worse for wear. Even the rose that's been sitting in the water, all of the irises, the daylilies, everything, even the tulips are doing just fine. I've been making sure that the soil stays moist so that the roots don't dry out. And as you can see, even some of the irises are trying to bloom. Even an iris that's been sitting in water is now starting to try to bloom. So I'm going to get these in the ground today. This has to be done today. Get the roses in, get the fill dirt on, and then once I get that done, I'll be ready to put the cardboard on, and I'll come back out here and I'll record it right before I put the cardboard on, so everybody can see what I've done. Okay, so here is the final product. It's got about 6 inches, maybe 8 inches in some spots of topsoil. We split up all of our bulb plants, tulips, irises, and daylilies, and then planted the rose bushes. This one looks like it went a little shocky, which is kind of surprising since it was actually the healthiest of all the roses. Probably should have cut it back more. But this is the final product. All I got to do now is put another coat of white on the tops of it, and it's done. Thanks for watching.